Hey, I'm Pops, and I am talking Batman animated series. Welcome to your Saturday morning cartoon popspective. Do you see and hear the joy in my voice by rewatching the show? Should I just give? Look at that! I'm very, very happy doing this. Gosh, this show is good. Oh my gosh. Look, I'm kind of been rereading some of the comic books that are from like my heyday, and there's a famous Clayface series. It was called Mud Pack, and it's good. Got it. Good. But this two-part introduction of Clayface into the animated Rogue Gallery is just epic. It's just epic. Oh, it's so good. Everything is so good right now in this show. I'm in the first 6 episodes. This is episodes 5 and 6. This was written. No wonder it's so good, right? It was written by Marv Wolfman, the great comic book creator, a great guy, by the way. I met this guy. I met the world to me because it was very early on in my Comic-Con days, that kind of thing. So we get the introduction of Lucious Fox, right? Because you have this opening to this two-part series. First off, spoilers, right? Opening to this two-part story where Bruce Wayne attacks Lucious Fox, and you're like, what on earth is going on? By the way, RIP to the great Brock Peters. He voices Lucious. This is the black dude. This guy's legacy is so underrated. I love this guy's voice. He did the Darth Vader in radio dramas. Of course, he played Tom in the classic To Kill a Mockingbird, one of my favorite movies of all time. And you have this conflict with Roland Daggert, basically voiced by Ed Asner, another one of my favorites, right? And Batman's right there on the roof nearby. He hears the gunshots. He shows up. It's obviously not Bruce Wayne. What is going on? Well, we end up with the introduction of Matt Hagen. Now, Matt Hagen had been in a car accident, and his face is completely disfigured. And Daggett runs this lab, and he convinces him to try this experimental chemical on his face and whatever. And he's basically addicted to this face cream because he basically can just look young again. He can shapeshift. He can do all sorts of things. So Daggett uses him and bribes him to do these dirty work jobs. And that's basically who was Bruce Wayne, right? Now, there's great conflict along the way. You have all of these things that happen. Of course, Daggett's going to turn on Matt because, that's the lead back to him. And they pour like a giant container of this chemical. The ooze right into his throat. And you hear the scream. This show is very, very edgy. Very, very edgy. And I know I'm contrasting this by covering the X-Men show simultaneously. And I can just say the X-Men tends to be geared towards a much younger, immature, and juvenile audience in the early part of season 1. Batman never did that. Batman jumped in full force with treating you more like adults. And so there's definitely a difference here. And I'm not trying to diss on the X-Men animated series. I wouldn't be doing it if I loved this. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I didn't love it so much, because I do. And it is different, centering everything around the one main protagonist. But everything goes well, right? Batman torturing the thugs, right? So he chases down in a Batwing, pretending to like a voice scanner, and he gets this guy, he crashes this guy and grabs him. Literally, the Batwing is holding this guy, dangling him in the air to drop him somewhere, and ends up dropping him in like a swimming pool. I don't even know that the studios in 2022 would let Batman do that in one of our movies, but the animated series did it in 1992. That's how epic this show is. Like, could the sensitive little feelies of today handle Batman torturing someone by dangling them in the Batwing to get information out of them, right? Anyway, so the second part of Feet of Clay, it's called Feet of Clay. A lot of what I just said actually is in the second part, with the whole backstory of him becoming the test subject and all that. But Daggett, also the only thing I had with the story was it's not well flushed out exactly how Daggett is going to suddenly turn his attention to Wayne Enterprises. It's just like kind of thrown in. I don't know. Anyway, in this episode, Batman tortures one of the thugs whose nickname is Germs because he's like a hypochondriac, right? He's afraid of everything. He ends up in a hospital. And Batman basically interrupts the situation, catches Germs, and He's talking about crimson fever, and there's no cure for it. It has it in this jar, and he keeps hitting it, so it's getting closer and closer to falling off on top of Germs. And of course, at the last minute, it turns, and you see it's not. But Batman is hardcore Batman instead of this, these wussy on-screen versions we get today. You read these comic books, there's nothing like this. It's just him being a grouchy, grumpy, pouty, sulky Batman. He's not this type of Batman. This is so well done. By the way, the Clayface on the rooftop battles, so he has like an axe and bricks and all this. It's fantastic. And then of course he slithers away. It's just goo. He gets away. Like, it's just, Clayface is done so well with not a lot of, so much happens and not a lot of screen time. You get different versions of what he's capable of. You also get like a lot of dynamics in how his powers can manifest without having to talk about it, right? Anyway, Daggett's going to be on TV. That's the final scene. A big sort of conflict's going to come together. Batman shows up early and has like all of these videotapes of Matt Hagen as an actor, all these like incredible transformation roles and movies that he's done. And the battle is sort of contrived by Batman. He's totally losing this battle, but gets him into this control room and activates all these screens. So all these different images pop up, and you basically have like a sensory overload to Clayface. He can't handle it all, right? And he's sort of like morphing out of control, and then he ultimately gets electrocuted and passes out, right? The best part of the episode is that it doesn't end with some cheeky, sleazy ending, just like the last episode. And unlike Mr. Freeze, where you have that dramatic, emotional, scene of like Arkham, where he's in his little prison cell and you have the snow globe and whatever. Here, you realize, oh, Clayface totally faked out, man. We don't know where he is. The corpse is dust, and there's a woman that cackles. Her eyes change. You realize that Clayface got away pretending to be that woman. Like, it's, oh. If you haven't rewatched this series, I'm telling you, you will find great joy and happiness by taking these little 22-minute, that's what they are. They're about 20 to 22-minute escapes. The music's right. The editing's right. It's beautifully animated voices. There's nothing wrong. It's so well done. So good. Cannot recommend this enough. I'm loving it. I hope you are watching it too. Tell me what you think, Buffalo. Are you a big Clayface fan? Because it makes you want to understand a little bit more about, isn't that kind of the point of the brand and the market and the merch, and all of this stuff should all be cohesive. I keep saying that. So good. So good.